Good morning, traders. Welcome to the live trading room. I hope you're all doing well. Let's have a look at how the market is setting up. We've got Euro Chief here that is pushing to the downside after making this three-wave correction, but this can only get up to this level. Let's switch off here. Before I switch off, just check the RSI confirmed with this closing here. We're at the top here, and we just dipped at the bottom below 50 here. So we are looking for this to at least come and take this low here. Let's switch off now. So that's the structure that we've got there on Euro Chief. It's a very small move. Will it continue further than that? Very likely, but we were expecting that this is the blue box of the bigger structure. So we're expecting a reaction from this with a bigger three-wave structure. So we may just get back to this level here. If we come down here, take the low, make another bounce, that would be a nice trade to take to the downside. That means that that blue box will be invalidated. So we'll look for downside. So that is how Euro Chief is playing out. So let's just look at the bigger structure here on the 4-hour and on the daily as well. So the 4-hour is also setting up for downside. So when you've got a setup on the 4-hour, that means a bigger move to the downside. So that means that level there is not a blue box for this. So that blue box is not going to play out. And even if it is going to play out, we're going to see this first before any move to the upside. So we'll see, watch that. So this for now is making a move to the downside. We are at the top, we are below 50 already. So you can see both 1-hour and 4-hour are showing us downside on Euro Chief. Let's go through the rest here. So the DXY. Let's start with the Euro. So the Euro is playing out the second alternative, which was this here, 1, 2, making this flat correction. This has played out. We didn't quite dip into the blue box where I wanted it to. Let me just check here if it is in the blue box. Let's just project the blue box. Looks like it is here. So if it is in the blue box, you can actually take it right now. We have missed the blue box by a few pips, but this is still a worthy trade to take right now with a stop below. Let's put it here. You can take this trade right now with a stop at 20, 1.2. Let's just make it a bit tighter than that. 120, 120023 will be too far. That will be 144 pip stop. So you can just make it nice and tight at about 2040. Then it's 100 pip stop, and then we'll be looking for a move to the upside. So this will be the corrective structure. Just watch it as it gets up to this lower bound, top of the boundary here. So we've got this as a three-wave corrective structure. So we've got A, B, C corrective structure here. Is that all a correction? Let's see how far this is going to go here. Right, so there's just another possibility there. But for now, we're going to take it to that level, and we're going to move it to break even on that level. That is Euro US dollar with this structure. Pound US dollar, or rather the DXY. DXY, similar. Inverse, that's the structure. A impulse, a correction, and an impulse. Do we now come down? Let's watch out for that. Pound US dollar. Pound US dollar did not quite finish the move that we're looking for to the downside. We're looking for this to continue to the downside to around the blue box area. The blue box area, which is based on this. We're looking for this to continue down here and make a move to the upside. It is still setting up, so we cannot really confirm that yet. Let's have a look here if we've got a continuation pattern on the 1 hour. Is the 1 hour giving us a continuation pattern to the downside? At the moment, not quite. So we've got a move up here. We've got what looks like a corrective structure here. So pound can still do this and get to the blue box, but we're just waiting for that to set up. It has not confirmed this yet. Let's go back to the 4 hour. Let me just reload my charts here first. Right, so that is pound US dollar. So this is what we looked for yesterday, for this to get to trade into the blue box. We are not there yet. We're still waiting for this to do that into the blue box. US dollar chief will obviously track the DXY. So US dollar chief, we did not get quite the retrace that we wanted. We wanted a flat correction here, but instead we can see that it has now simply made a continuation pattern here. And we're looking for this one to continue to the downside as follows. And follow the euro. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here on US dollar chief, tracking US dollar. Following the US dollar weakness again, and following the DXY as follows. Right, US dollar CAD. We've had a bit of a bounce on US dollar CAD. Let's have a look here on the 4-hour. We're going to get a trade set up for upside. Let's watch. Right, looks like we may get a 4-hour setup. I would prefer to actually get a 4-hour setup here on US dollar CAD. If we get something like that, I would actually be interested in getting that. I also want to look at the daily to see how far the daily is. Yesterday, the daily was popping up about 50. This has not resetted yet, so we would want to see this one reset before we move to the upside. Let's check the daily chart on this. So the daily, as you can see, we are not there yet. For all we know, this is an expanding flat on the daily, and we are still going to see one more down. This is why you don't start buying. As you can see, this is a setup for downside as far as the daily is concerned. That setup will only be invalidated if this continues to push above the 50 line. So if that happens, that means we are going to wait for a reversal, for a reset, and then we start looking for upside. So as it is, the daily has not confirmed that. Audi US dollar has hardly moved 2 pips from where it was yesterday. Let's go 4-hour. So Audi US dollar looking to push lower here, continue to the downside and give us this structure. That is Audi US dollar. New Zealand was also at the blue box on the 4-hour. But what has happened is we've got a continuation pattern here. So we're going to see a little bit more downside here. Okay, we're going to see a little bit more downside. It's interesting that the euro US dollar is pushing to the upside, and Audi and New Zealand are showing one more move to the downside. That may have a impact on euro US dollar. Pound yen, that 1-hour setup from yesterday has eventually played out. So this was the setup on the 1-hour here yesterday. We have broken out of that structure. You can look to take 1-hour corrections here. We are above 50 on the 4-hour, so you can wait for any 1-hour correction, then you can look to take it to the upside. US dollar yen started as if it was going to make one more move to the downside here, so that is playing out that flat correction now. So we will look for this to get around this level here. Still going up correctively though, so we'll look for that to go to around 1,111 from triple one there on US dollar yen. Right, now Euro Yen did not trade into the blue box, but has made a three-wave corrective structure. We wanted it to do this, 1, 2, 3, and get to the blue box. As you can see, we've reversed before getting to the blue box. That's fine. So that means a candle close above this, you can actually take the trade without waiting for a pullback and just putting your stop loss around this area. It's going to be a bit large, but that's okay. So this is more probable, or you can wait for 1 hour. Either way, whichever one suits your style. If you are able to take this 110 pip stop, that's fine, because this is now making a push to the upside for quite a number of for a bigger correction. So we should see this one go about 135, 136. Chief Yen. So Chief Yen, we wanted to see this. Let's switch this off here. Let's just see the structure. Chief Yen, this is what we wanted to see. 1, 2, 3 here. We're looking at this to be doing this. We also looked at this possibility. 1, 2, 3 here, and then a push to the upside. That did not happen. So that means this is all a correction. Now you can start looking to take trades at current levels. It is just broken out, so it's not too late here. You can still look to take that with just a stop loss under the low of the flag here and look to take it up higher. That is Chief Yen, CAD Yen. All the yen pairs are showing us upside now. There's no setup on the 4 hour. As you can see, this is at the top now. So wait for it to reset on the 1 hour, then you look to take a trade. New Zealand. Also a three-wave structure, but look for it to push to the upside. This one was textbook because it almost traded into the blue box. So wait for this to continue pushing up higher and give us a structure like that. And that is New Zealand Audi Yen. Audi Yen is a bit messy, it's just going sideways. Remember what we're looking for with Audi Yen was for it to drop. We're looking for it to drop to around these levels. So we've got three waves down here. We've got whatever structure is playing out here to do that. So let's watch. Gold. Excuse me, guys. Right, that is gold. Let's have a look at gold. Right, so gold has made a pullback. We wanted it deeper than this. That's fine. So it looks like we've got a blue box there on gold. Let's project that. Has made a three-wave down. That's the three waves that we've got on gold. 1, 2, 3. We've made a bounce here. Is this going to give us a 1 hour correction and then upside? Let's check that. So I'm not too keen on this one as long as the 4 hour is below 50 here. So I'm not going to look to take this to the upside because this looks like it's still going to come back down. It's still going to come back down on this one. So if you look at the 1 hour on gold, this is the reason why I'm not looking to buy the 1 hour. You see that the indicator is not telling us that, it's telling us that we're not going to get a breakout there, at least not now. So we're still going to look for this one to come back down here. Very clear that we are going to make a move to the downside. So we're not ready to move to push up higher yet on gold. Let's have a look at silver. And silver is giving a 1 hour setup, not necessarily a trade setup, but just for direction, we're going to see a little bit more downside. This is where we got that from. So silver and gold not ready for a push to the upside. So silver, as we indicated yesterday, the structure that we'll be expecting, we've got the three waves down here That's the pullback in 3. That 3 is actually too small compared to this one here. So, but let's see if it's going to come do this and bounce. That would be a little bit more decent. Brent crude continues to push up higher. No deeper correction as yet, but it will be coming soon. Pound CAD, let's go to the 4-hour. We have been sideways for a while looking at this corrective structure. We're looking for this one to be dropping for one more. There is still a possibility for that, but if you look at the indicator, it looks like we've made one. We've made a corrective structure there. We have made a move here. We'll be looking for this to continue pushing to the upside. The indicator is confirming accordingly. We are at the bottom. We are above 50. So we are going to see pound CAD start making a move from current levels and push up higher. Pound Audi. Right, so pound Audi yesterday looked to be making what looks like a corrective structure, but as you indicated, the indicator was showing us upside. So we have now made this setup for upside here. We're going to see upside. Now, how far will this go? Remember, we still have the blue box here. The blue box for the bigger structure is showing us downside. Now, let's have a look here at the bigger structure in the daily here. So the blue box structure, the blue box is for the daily structure. So we are here currently. Remember where we are. As much as this is looking upside, this could just be to complete this, and then we still reverse. If you look at the forecast on the website, we've indicated that from the blue box, we're expecting a reversal. But as you know, that the blue box can always be retested before we push to the upside. So we could be getting, this is what we're getting currently. We're getting another move to the upside. The daily is showing us upside. You can see we're well above 50, well above 50. This can give us one more move to the upside. This does not make a new high. If it does not make a new high, then we're going to look for downside. But if this now breaks above the previous high here, then that means there's no divergence, and this is going to continue to the upside before we come down. Okay, so this is just to clear out the confusion between what I'm indicating here and what is on the website. So the website, we've got this as a blue box. So obviously from the blue box, we expect reversal and continuation in the direction of the original trend. But that continuation must only come after confirmation that the correction has ended. Then we look for downside. As it is, the correction has not ended, and we are still looking for one more up here. So we're going to see one more up as far as the indicator is showing us here. Right, so that is a pound Audi. Pound New Zealand, we indicated it's going to push to the upside yesterday. Did not go anywhere, instead just went sideways. But on the 4-hour, you can see we've got a continuation to the upside. Look at this. This is so clearly showing us that we're going to see upside, at least back to those levels on pound New Zealand. We're going to see more upside. Pound Chief. Pound Chief, this structure is showing us downside on the 4-hour. We're going to see downside, but how far? Only just up to this level. Remember the structure. It's showing us that that structure that we're looking at will take this low here. And we're still expecting that this is going to be the structure with the ABC corrective structure. Remember how long we've been talking about this, even during the LTA, the live technical analysis on the pound pairs. We've been speaking about this structure on the website that is actually in the minor red degree. This is actually on the red degree, minor red degree ABC. So simply what we're waiting for is for this B to complete, then we look for downside. After that, then we look for resumption of the move to the upside. Euro pound. We're still waiting for it to bounce as follows. We've got to move up in 3 waves. One, two, three. Is this the end, or can you still push down here, make a bounce here like that? So wait for it to make a bounce there. Euro Audi. From yesterday, 2 things we said. 1, 2, 3. Either we're going to retest here and reverse, or this can go all the way with this being the 3-wave structure. Now looks to be confirming upside. We've broken up above here, on above the 50% on the 4-hour. So any trade here you can actually look to take, whether it's a 1-hour pullback or take it now with a stop loss around here. There was a setup here, but we thought that last setup was only going to take us there. That is Euro Audi, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand will continue to push up higher. Set up for upside. This is showing us continuation to the upside. We're going to see more upside on Euro New Zealand. Euro CAD, Messi, and we're looking for this 4,800. We're looking for that 3 down and possibly 1, 2, 3 before we push up higher. Euro Chief, we started with it out in New Zealand. Pullback. This is a shallow pullback. So wait for this corrective structure to complete, then you'll look to resume with the upside again. Audi CAD. We are at the bottom here. We are correcting here. We want to see, are we going to get one more move to the upside? Very likely. RSI still just below 50, but around the 50 area, we can still push to the upside. Audi Chief. Still a messy structure. Don't want to be involved in that. New Zealand CAD. We're looking for the bounce like this. New Zealand Chief. Continuation to the downside. Set up here on the 4-hour. But how far will this go? CAD Chief. We thought it was going to bounce yesterday. Still giving us this corrective structure. Still continuing to the downside. Eventually, we should see this push up higher. The indices. We've taken the previous high here on the S&P 500. Look for 1-hour corrections here. For upside, the Dow Jones Industrial, Dow Jones Transportation, I want to see something here between Dow Jones Industrial and Transportation. I want to bring them both on the same. So bottom here, I want the Dow Jones Industrial. I want to see if there's any signs of reversal here. Transportation at the top, industrial at the bottom. Both of them on log. I want to see if there's divergence on the relative strength between the two. There is no relative strength. There's no relative strength. They're all doing the same thing. So usually when one makes a new high and one makes a low, then that means that we're going to get a reversal. So in this case, this is the structure we've got on the Dow Jones Industrial. We're looking for upside here. This one has not given us the low here and can push from here. So what I wanted to see is not there. So that means we are still bullish. There is no divergence price in there. The relative strength between the two averages is the same. There's no relative strength there. Okay, so we've seen that. No indication of reversal on the S&P 500. Let's go back to one chart. Nasdaq continues to push up higher, playing out the running flat. UK 100. We've taken the previous high. We said we want to see the UK 100 at this level make a pullback like this. We are still there. DAX, nothing new there. We saw this continuation pattern to the upside yesterday. Remember, the trade is from here, from the blue box, looking for this to continue pushing to the upside. Nikkei, upside. We were here yesterday. It's now pushing up higher. Nifty, straight line up. Continuation pattern, looking for more upside. Let's look at the cryptocurrencies. So remember those lines. Bitcoin, we are exactly at the forecasted line here. We are exactly at a point where we're expecting the purple to do this. The purple to do this. Are we going to get that? That's where we are currently. If that plays out, that means we would have gotten now 1, 2, 3 waves correctly. So let's see if we're going to get that. Looks like we are about to get it now. Ethereum, we are still bouncing with this corrective structure. Flat, looking for more upside. Litecoin as well. So from 2 weeks back, we look for this one to push up higher. That is still the expectation. And Ripple, after making the 3-wave corrective structure, is it going to push up higher? Like this? Let's watch. Dodge, nothing is happening there really. This can just come here, make this continuation pattern, and do this. ADA, 3-wave corrective structure, looking for continuation to the upside. Binance, three-wave down, we're looking for this to come up. And on that level, we'll look for this. We already started upside with 3 waves, so we can have that structure and then move back down. Before we resume upside. And lastly, on the cryptocurrencies, let's have a look at Link. Link, exactly the same as LTC and Ethereum. We are pushing up higher for this structure. All right, that's all for today, guys. Look out for the live technical analysis at 11 a.m. GMT. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.